So welcome everyone once again, and this is the third video on Python tutorial series, and in this video we will be looking at functions. So functions are a piece of code, or the pieces of code that can be reused, and we can use functions like we can use the same piece of code for 20 times, for 30 times, and that's your wish. So functions are really useful in Python. Not only in Python, in every programming languages, functions are really important. So let's look at functions, and after that the video would be ended. First, let's open a file explorer to create a file or a folder. Like, we want to organize this series, so we want to make a folder. So new folder and Python. Okay, I called it Python, and now what I do is click on open folder, and under that I'll select documents. After that I'll click on Python, and open it. So as soon as I do that, what I want to do is that I want to, full screen VS Code like this. Now I would want to open or create a file as well, so I trust the authors. After that, let's create a file called main.py. Okay, like this. Now let's see if the code is working, because we want to test if the code is working or if there is any problem with the code editor or Python or whatever we use. So let's type print hello world. So if I type hello world, let's see what happens here. Okay, so hello world has successfully been printed, so this means that the code is working properly. So after this, let's start the video. The first basic concept, let me show you the basic concept, okay? So let's make a program. So print welcome to the, let's make a program about a program. So what we want to do is that we want to do something like, let's think about the thing. Okay, we want to take the name as input from users. So input, enter your name, right? Enter your name. So we want to store it in a variable, so it's going to be name in this case. So name is equals to input, right? You got the concept. And after the name has been taken, what we want to do is, let's make this a bit fancy, like this. After the name has been taken, we want to take the age of the user as well. Age is equals to input as well. Enter your age. So after the age is entered, we want to get the gender of the person as well. So gender is equals to input. What? Excellent. Wait a second. Let's do male / female, right? So this is the basic application. So if the person passes this test, or just enters every value correctly, then the person can be eligible to play the game or to enter the program. But if the person does not fulfill the requirements of these variables by entering the wrong values, the person would not be able to move further in the program. So what we want to do is that we want to do, like, we want to get a piece of code like we learned about if, else, elif in the previous video. So I'm not going to teach you about any of those things in this video. So if you want to learn about them, then you can go to the previous video. Now we'll be using the conditionals in this video to make the program work even better. So first, if name is equals something like if name, okay, let's do if type name, sorry, I did a mistake, name dot type, right, is equals string, for not string, str, print welcome to the program, you are eligible to play, to enter. So after I do this, what I want to do is hello. It says str has no attribute type. So what is the problem? So the problem is type and then name. This is what it looks like. So if type name is equals to, so welcome to the program, you're eligible to enter. So I did a mistake here, so I had not been using this function for a long time, so it happened. So I'll give you an extra information after a while in this video that would be just shocking for some of you. So right now, if the name is string, we want to let the person play the game because there's probably nobody on the earth who has a name starting with what we call it, an integer, right? So if the name is string, but I think you missed something in this part. The thing that you missed in this part is that the name which the person enters is always a string, because whatever we type in, even if it's a number, if it's entered in the input part, then that's obviously going to be converted into it's probably going to be converted into the string. Yeah. So what we want to do is that first of all, we want to convert the name to an integer. If it produces some errors, we can just say that the person is not using numbers in their name, because if they're not using numbers, then they're probably using string, and the string cannot be converted into an integer. But if they are using the numbers, then that would not be giving us any errors, because the numbers could successfully be converted into integers. So if you got the concept, that would be really beautiful. If you didn't get the concept, I'll get it cleared out in a moment. So first of all, what we want to do is we want to do try and except. So this is also going to be a new topic for you, try. So what try is going to do is it's going to execute a certain kind of code, like it's going to run a code, and if the code produces the error, it's not going to be displayed on your terminal, because if it's producing some errors, it'll just go to the except block and run the except code. But if the code doesn't produce any errors, it'll just run the try block and leave the try and except block. So it's as simple as if and else statement, because if the if statement successfully works, the Python interpreter does not look at the elif or else statements. Similarly, if the try statement doesn't produce any errors, it'll not go to the except statement. But if it does produce any errors, it'll be going to the except statement. So first of all, we want to do try and let's do print and integer int name plus 1, like this, right? So let's comment this out a while, and I think you can see this. It's giving me a highlight that's colored in red. Why is this giving this error? Because once a try statement is written, you always have to write the except statement, because we are not sure if it's producing errors or not. So what you've got to do is try after try, you've got to write except and give a colon and type pass. That's it. Type pass, finish, nothing. Okay, so according to this code, if I write any number in my name, it'll be giving me the printed calculated version of this. So let's do 1. If I type my name as 1, it'll be just converting the name to the integer and adding 1 to 1. That would be giving 2. So enter your age. Let's say I'm 100 years old right now. Male, I'm male. so it's giving me 2. So what we want the program to do is, if it gives me 2, I want the program to be just re-asking the name to the user, or just quitting. I want the program to quit if the value is an integer, because we want the name to be a string and we don't want the name to be an integer. So what we want to do is, if the try statement produces a successful output, then it's probably that the user has entered the number as their name, and if it produces any errors, we can move to the except statement, right? So except statement would be this statement, so we can cut this, and instead of pass we can type this in. So this is really simple. Now it's telling me print accepted in block pylons. I think there's a problem here. Let's see what, oh sorry, yeah. Okay, so I indented this because there has to be an indentation after the if statement, right? So after I did this, I'll run the program once again. Now let me enter 1 as well. It'll give me 2, and that's really obvious. Now what if I enter my name? Okay, let's say age is 100 once again, male. Welcome to the program, you're eligible to enter. So it's giving me you're eligible to enter, right? So but when the name was an integer, it was not producing this output, so it means that there is no problem with the code right now. Now this if statement is not useful here, because the work of if statement has already been done by the try and except blocks, but we'll keep this just in order to make you more familiar with the if and else statements. Okay, so after this has been completed, we don't want this number to be displayed in the terminal. What do we do? So let's figure this out. How do we not display this on the terminal? So let's not print this. Now let's not print this, and if it is like, you know, set like this, then the program will automatically quit. Name is, let's say, 1, and age is 100 and male, and the program just quitted, right? So that's what we wanted. We want the program to be quitting in a better way. So below this statement we want to type print, sorry, you cannot use a number as your name. Please rerun the program and provide a correct name. So this is what we want to be displayed to the user. So let's do this. My name is going to be 10 as well, so enter your name. And the name has been entered. The age, let's keep it 10 as well. I'm male. So what it's saying is, sorry, you cannot use a number as your name. Please rerun the program and add a correct name. So if I rerun the program and type the correct name, let's see this, and enter your name or enter your age. Let's say 10. Male. Welcome to the program. You're eligible to enter. That's really beautiful. So the basic concept has been cleared out. Now let's clear one more concept. Let's say my username was my name and 1. Enter your age, right? So after, like, I have to enter my age, 10 and Mal. I don't know, the spelling has been mistaken, but still it's giving me welcome to the program, you're eligible to enter. Why is this giving so? Because my name had a number, but the other, except for this number, anything else could not be converted to the integer group, so it produced an error, and after the error we got the successful result that is called welcome to the program, you're eligible to enter the program. So simple as it is, right? So try and accept has been completed. If you didn't understand try and accept, let me show it to you. Let me explain it to you once again. So try, what is this doing? This is going to be running the code that is given inside this block. So it's going to run these two statements, right? If these two statements work, like if this first statement is going to work without any errors, it'll display this statement, and that's it. It'll not be looking at any other statements after this. So it will not be looking at any other statements after this. It'll not be looking at the except statement. Whatever is given inside of this statement would be, just executed by the Python interpreter, and the program would be ended. Now what if I do print, hello world, and this time everything is 1, but after this I got hello world. Why am I getting this? The program was supposed to be ending, right? And the reason is this thing, like if this thing works without any errors, it's not going to run this, but except for this, it's going to be running everything else in the program. And print is outside the except block, so it's going to execute the print statement. So we don't want this to be executed. So if we don't want this to be executed, what we can do is we can select this, cut this, and paste it inside of the except block, right? So after this, hello world is not defined, is it? No, it's not defined. So this is the basic use of try and except blocks. So here's one more block, and that's called finally. Finally, print by. So finally print by is going to be demonstrated by the program itself. So let's do, see, I entered everything 1, but the by has been executed. Why is this so? Because when the try statement runs without any errors, it'll not run the except statement, but the finally statement has to be executed anyhow. Even if this works, even if this doesn't, even if this works, even if this doesn't, this has to be running, and that's it. Even if this has something that produces an error, the error would be displayed on terminal, but it should be running, and that's it, right? So if you're coming from any other languages which has do-while loop, you know what do-while loops do on Java, they run the loop at least once, even if the condition is not meeting, right? So this is similar to do-while loop, and it's really useful in a program because, let's say for example, you're making a program just for 2 operating systems. One is for Windows and another is for Linux, so you will have to use different system commands, and one system command's going to run only on Windows, whereas the other is going to run only on Linux. So if you want that to be working without any errors, you can use the try, except, and finally blocks, right? So this is the basic concept, and let's do something like entering our real name and trying to see if the finally block gets executed or not. So let's write my name. Age is, let's say, 100, and male, hello world, and by as well. So why is this giving me a by? Because, as I already told you, even if this runs, even if this runs, even if this doesn't, even if this does not working, this is going to be running, and that's it. So let's not print by. Let's say finally statement has run. So this is going to be printed as a note, like this, so that it will not be disturbing to the users. See, note finally statement has run. Like this, it'll be, clear to the users as well that the problem is nothing. So after this, our main purpose was to look at the, functions, right? So I'll be showing you functions right now. So after we did this, note finally statement has run. So this program is going to be only about name. So let's not make anything about age as well. Or do we want it to be making about age as well? So let's do it. Like if we want the age to be a real age, then what we can do is open up the file of the previous video and we can copy the code to save time, right? So where is this? Downloads? No, it was not there. Home maybe? Tailwind course, it was there. But I'm not seeing it right now. Videos, pictures. Where is this? It's not anywhere. Okay, so let me type it myself. So, if this runs, we know what this does, so let's go to this statement directly, and if the name is this, and then we are going to use this. But now, let me teach you about the nested if-else conditions as well. So, let's look at them as well. So, if we have written an if statement, there goes nothing on writing an else as well, right? Else, print, your name is not a... Now, I'll tell you a fact, right? This else statement is not going to be executed anyhow, because if this else statement gets true, then it would not reach to this point where it would have been running, because if it was true, then the try statement would already have executed without any errors, and if the error was not produced, we already know that it'll print, sorry, you cannot use a number as your name, and please rerun the program, and it'll just quit the program. So it's not necessary, but just to make you more familiar and make the if-else code more easier for you, I'm using this. So it's your wish. If you don't want to use this, I don't have anything to say about it, because it's totally fine. So after we did this, now let's look at something else. So the thing that we want to look is, we want to check if the age is of a real person or not. So I'm just going to be typing out a code that is pretty much similar to the code of the previous video, so I'll not be explaining it, but you'll have to understand it yourself, and this is kind of a test for you. So if, now you can see this, age is let's say less than 1, print you don't exist. If age is less than 1, print you don't exist. If age is, let's say, greater than 80 this time, print you are too old. You're too old. And if the age is less than 1, and if the age is let's say greater than 80. Now what if I put my age to be let's think about it, maybe -1. Okay, name would be a real name. Now age would be 0. Male. It says it's not supported by string. Oh, sorry. This time the age has to be taken in form of integer, right? So int and this, write this. So after this I can use the same command. My name and the age, let's say 0. Male. Finally statement has run. You don't exist. So finally statement will be running after every single statement has completed in the except block. Okay? So I don't exist if my age is 0, and that's practically true. Now let's do my name and 1900 as my age. Male. You're too old. Finally statement has run. Okay, you're too old, and that's it. You're too old to enter the program. So what it says is that I'm too old to enter this program according to this, and this is also fine. Now after this, let's look at something else as well. So did you notice something? It's like yeah, the somebody else. Your name is not a string. So I am using except block here after the try block, and I'm using if block or if statement inside of the except block, right? But did you notice that I could use another if statement inside of a if statement? Now it didn't produce any error if I used the if statement after if statement. No, it didn't produce any errors because that could be a new if statement, and even if I used elif statement, it would not be producing any errors like this. My name, my age, no problem, right? So what this proves is that you could be using multiple if statements inside of any other statement, if statements, if it's necessary to be used. So the process of using if an if statement inside of another if statement is called looping or nesting of the if statements. So that could be called the nested if statements. And let me explain you what a block is, what a code block is. Can you see this? Except after the what do we call it, colon till finally. This is the code block of the except block, right? This is the except block because it's everything contained in the except block or code or whatever we call it. So after this has been completed, now let's run the program once again. My name, my age is, let's say this time 150, male. Finally statement has run. So let's leave this gender part as male, female, or any other gender, because that could be a problem if the person is using caps lock, if the person is not using caps lock, because there could be some spelling mistakes, like typing male, female, or anything. But we could also fix those problems, but that would take a long time, and to explain it would be even more big burden, and you know, because the video is getting too long and I've not even started demonstrating about functions, so it'll probably take like 10 to 20 minutes more to explain and complete the video. So we'll not be, you know, making any modifications or changes to this variable. Once again, remember that these are variables, and the name, like the word name, is called an identifier. This thing is known as variable, but whatever you've typed in, like whatever is the name of the variable, is known as identifier. Let's say, for example, you are a person and you have some data, you have some information, you have some knowledge in your brain, right? So you're a variable, and the knowledge stored inside of you is the data. But your name, let's say you're called Alex. Alex is known as the identifier of the variable, which is you, and that's it. So now let's look at the what do we call it, functions. Okay, enter your name. My name, age is going to be 1920 by 1080, let's say. You're too old to enter the program. Finally, statement has run, like this. So let me tell you a fact. This video was not to explain you about functions. Really, this video was not to explain you about functions. This video was specifically made to explain you about try, except, finally, nesting the if-else statements, and that's it. Like the you know, the functions will be explained in the next video, because this video was made to be explaining about try and except, as well as finally blocks, what a code block is, and those stuffs. And I told you that I'd explain you about functions as well. And why am I not explaining it? It's because I wanted to trick you. I wanted to trick you to be learning these things. Like, if you think that you will be, like, you'd be thinking that you'll learn functions, and before learning functions you'll have to learn these things as well, right? So your mind would be more focused on learning these things, because you'd think that you would be learning some more function, and that's sounding really awesome as well. So sorry if if you think that I lied, but no, I'm not lying. I'll be explaining function to you in the next video, so till then, take care and goodbye. I'll see you in the next one. Hope you enjoyed the video. I forgot to say about it, and the main thing, please practice this program at home and try, accept, and finally block is to be practiced every day for a week to be mastering the blocks, and also try using the nested if-else statements, also called nested conditionals. Okay, and the main thing is try to implement your own logics like I did to this one. I didn't print this, but I did. I wanted this to be saved in the computer's memory without being printed, so this is kind of a logic, though it's not implemented inside of a Python as a built-in logic or something, but it's something that has to be built by the programmer itself. So that's it for the video. Like the video and subscribe to the channel for more amazing videos like this.